You recognize, I'm sure, that Rudolph, the radically red-nosed reindeer, he had a shockingly shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you might even say, man, it glows. And all of the other reindeer, they used to laugh and call him some of the most offensive, politically incorrect names. They never ever allowed Rudolph to join in any, not one of their reindeer games, not one. But then, one Christmas Eve, thick with fog, a misty vapor type substance, Santa, of all people, came to say, Rudolph, with that nose so eerily bright, like, let's say, a beacon at night, won't you lead my sleigh tonight? Then, and only then, did all the reindeer love him, and they shouted out with glee, not the television show, Rudolph, you red-nosed reindeer, you will definitely go down in history. I'm thinking of the 1964 stop-motion animation television production of Rudolph that Gene Autry popularized in a song. To recap and summarize, Donner, one of Santa's reindeers, along with his young bride, give birth to a young fawn who they promptly named Rudolph. There are some proud parents, but unfortunately, as Santa points out, Rudolph is born with a rare genetic abnormality, a rare deformity. He's got a red nose, a shiny, glistening, and gleaming red nose, almost electric. Santa doesn't dig that, hence Donner, being a crafty dad / reindeer, he seeks to hide this strange manifestation by capping the nose with an application of dirt or sludge or muck. A shiny red nose becomes the family secret that nobody talks about. Fast forward some time now, we find Rudolph
almost full grown and taking flying lessons in the hopes of one day pulling Santa's super sleigh. His family secret is still intact, but after an unusually long leap and some horseplay or reindeer play in this instance, Rudolph's nose guard light retarded thingy falls off, revealing his blindingly shiny nose that seems to be on high beam to the world. The flight instructor flips out, his eyes protruding out of his head and everything, and all the other reindeer take his cue. They also are thoroughly freaked out, and Rudolph is shunned and rejected and no longer able to play in any of those fun-filled reindeer games I mentioned before. What's he gonna do? He packs some stuff and he hits the road. Meanwhile, at Santa's toy workshop, we find an elf named Hermie who doesn't want to be an elf. He wants to be a dentist. While the other elves are making toys and trains and dolls, he's checking the oral health and oral hygiene of the dolls, which is making the head elf nuts. So they get into it, and after some discussion, Hermie splits. He grabs some of the stuff and he hits the road. Well, through providence, and to make the show make some type of sense, Rudolph and Hermie the elf stumble into each other and become traveling companions. They begin to make their way to who knows where when they stumble upon a prospector named Cornelius, who is obsessed with silver and gold. Indeed, every time Cornelius strikes his pick into the snow, he immediately licks it and proclaims, nothing. But the narrator of the show proceeds to sing a song about the wonders of silver and gold. For you trivia buffs, Cornelius was originally going to be a prospector looking for a peppermint mine, hence the licking of the pick. You can look that up. Well, after the song, as the three are making some small talk, along comes the abominable snowman. Not the offensive snowman or the really bad snowman, but the abominable snowman, who I did not know lives at the North Pole. So to make their escape, the three end up adrift on a small iceberg. This all happens before global warming, and they end up on an island. What island, you might ask? Well, the island of Misfit toys. We meet Charlie in the box, not Jack, but Charlie in the box. There's a train with square caboose wheels and a polka-dotted elephant and a doll named Susie, who looks pretty normal to me, but they are all a group of misfits. A misfit, an oddity, an oddball. Have you been there?
Have you felt the feeling? I've been there. I felt that somehow I just don't fit. I'm irregular or asymmetrical and a little lopsided. I've come to the conclusion that I'm not alone in my feelings. I'm not alone in my predicament. I'm thinking that even the rich and famous, the powerful and influential, the commanding and the important, the weak and the unknown, everybody has felt the fear from misfitism or irregularity. And I'm not speaking of constipation, but everyone has at least once in their life, everyone has felt a secret shiver of insecurity. I haven't asked every soul I've met their thoughts on this subject, but I've broached the subject with many, and it seems to be a common malady. It's certainly a common malady amongst those who follow the life and teachings of Jesus, of those who have made Jesus the forgiver and the leader of their lives, of those who follow Jesus as the Lord and Savior of their lives. And actually, that just might be a good thing. Here's what Paul the Apostle states to some common Christians in a town called Corinthia. He writes this: "Brothers and sisters, think of what you were when you were called. Not many of you were wise by human standards. Not many were influential. Not many were of noble birth. But God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. God chose the lowly things of this world and the despised things and the things that are not to nullify the things that are." This is now Philip's translation. God chose the Rudolphs and the Hermes and the Charlie in the boxes and the me's and the you's, the ones who will not only admit to our oddities, but rejoice in them as we give our lives to our Creator.